And welcome back, everybody, to the CCL Summer Ace Tournament powered by eFuse. My name is Seymour. Alongside me all day long, it's been Cruz and Spaz, the one and only. From 4 to 3, we go for the day as we cross off another name from the list. Let's go take a look at our teams because a little bit of spoiler. Another one bites the dust. And I think it was going to be Team Venet was the one to fall. Still haven't been crossed off the list. Come on. We got, so the top 3 players, Taktic, Crooked, and Fishidy are going to be the last ones there. And since that's not updated, let's take a look at our bracket crew so that we can see exactly who is left in this series. Team Crooked, all the way in loses round 6, but in these winners finals, technically, it is going to be Team Taktic versus Team Fishidy. This is a $300 match.
It's a $300 match, and I mean, this is going to be a pretty insane matchup, if I do say so myself. Just these two teams all day have played, or I mean, I guess they haven't played today, but all day yesterday, they played so well. Both these teams make it all the way through. I mean, obviously undefeated on the day, but I mean, just overall map counts together. Team Tactic, 9-2 on the day. Team Fishidy 9-1 on the day in terms of map count. So both teams have just played absolutely unreal COD. And I mean, we can take a look at our map set that they have ready to go today, because I mean, it's kind of a weird one, to be honest. Here we've got Apocalypse Hardpoint to start us off, followed by the Standoff Search and Destroy. Right after Standoff, we go Checkmate, Checkmate, then Raid to finish us off. So I mean, not really a normal, I mean, especially the first two maps. I mean, maybe the back 3, but the first two, definitely a little bit strange to start the series off with these.
Usually this is flipped. Very unorthodox. Usually it's like Checkmate and Raid as the first 2 maps, and then Apocalypse and Standoff as the last 2 ones. So yeah, exactly. I mean, this is very weird for the map count, but I think it kind of shows that towards the later ends, there's a lot more potential for this to go the distance, considering those last 3 are very comfortable maps. So I think as Apocalypse and Standoff, they're very niche picks. I always say this, Apocalypse for sure, as it has been in there for a while, but not a lot of teams have like perfected it. A lot of teams are still struggle on a map like Apocalypse because of how chaotic it can be. So I think this first map coming out for this, I'm not too sure on who picked it, but I expect this to be a well-practiced map and more of a pocket pick for the team.
Well, I mean, I don't think that any of these teams are going to be really well practiced on this map mode combo,
yeah.
in all honesty, with it being an AIDS tournament. But I do know what you mean. I think the other big thing that I've noticed from these 2 series that we've seen today, this is the first time that we're getting Raid in our 2 series today. And we saw a load of Raid yesterday, like so much, because you got to think that's just a comfort pick. But now that we're getting to this stage of the tournament, no teams want to play Raid because they know that everybody's going to be good at it. So I doubt we see a lot of Raid today. Maybe in our grand finals, if we go the full distance there, both teams don't want to get that and ban that one out. But yeah, I'm right there with you. This is a very weird start to our winners finals here with these 2 maps.
Well, $300. Apocalypse map number 1 is going to be a big one. We are into the top 3 for the CCL Summer 8s. And there's only one team who can come out on top. So let's see who's going to push their way into the grand finals. Let's see who is going to start off on the strong foot for this winter finals. Team Fishidy, Team Taktic, Apocalypse going to be a good one, Cruz. What do you want to see in it?
I mean, you got to think that whichever team we see start off on the good side, you got to think that we need to see them be able to hold on to it. We saw yesterday when I believe it was Red Chase and Testin that we watched, the only Apocalypse Hardpoint that we've actually seen so far today. And I mean, Team Red Chase, we saw them. They had a great hold right off the rip. We thought they were going to hold on to those good side spawns. But as soon as those good side spawns got broken and they were able to get run through by Team Testin, that's when Testin was able to continuously wrap it and run that score up. It was almost a tie game through the first set of rotations.
It was.
Because of it getting broken so early. So if you start on those bad side spawns, you need to make sure either you get a good amount of time on Hill 1 or you get the full wrap and you break through Hill 2 very quickly.
You're right. No ifs, and or buts. Break that hill. Like your life depends on it. Break that hill. Because you need that. It's going to affect the rest of the game. Exactly like you said. It was marginally even until the second set of rotations. And it is because of that break. But I think one thing really to focus on for Apocalypse for sure will be the spawns in general for the whole thing. So I want to see how the ARs warm up in this. The ARs are going to play a big part in this in the way that they can anchor these spawns for each team. Because the SMGs, you know what they're going to do. They're just going to be running forward and making sure that they take out anything in their path. Just devastating their other teams. So as we hop into Apocalypse, I really want to keep an emphasis on that. Like you said, Cruz, we got to watch out for the team on the bad spawns. If they're going to break through those spawns, they need to do it as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the other big thing is too, like you were kind of saying, is you just can't let the game get out of control. If you do not get that hill 2, you need to make sure you get hill 3. You need to make sure
Yeah.
you're prioritizing spawns. You can't be continuously, if there's 20 seconds left on hill 2, I don't even want to see a team pushing it again. Maybe send one player just to throw a random contest in there, but you need to make sure you're prioritizing spawns. You can't allow teams to string hill after hill after hill together, because that's when games get out of hand, especially in Apocalypse Hardpoint. And here we are right off the break, and you can already see Team Taktic has already tried to push multiple players through that top side of the map, but this is where things can also get a little bit out of control, because they've put a lot of resources in trying to flip these spawns out, but now they've given up a lot of time here on hill number 1 as well.
Not too much. It's about a 3-point lead. They can take another swing at this and maybe put a dent into it as well, but I mean, Team Fishidy, they are in a good situation to hold on to it now for the last 19 seconds. And yes, they have withstood the aggression that came through Temple to maintain these spawns. And if you're Team Taktic, in retaliation, you need to clear this and then make a dash towards the rest of this one. You do spawn out player 8 and 7, so it is going to be a 2-on-4 for the retake. So let's see if player number 5 in the back, Fishidy, can hold on. Already finds Andrew. Here comes the next one. Taktic does get cleared on out, but has held on. There is going to be a reinforcement. The spawns get flipped out here, and now here comes the collapse onto the site. Andrew finds another one. Records goes down, and there's the break.
That is at a huge break, and you can see exactly what Team Taktic did off the rip there. They did not want to put any focus, no focus at all on trying to touch that hill number 1. They only had, what, 15 seconds on hill 1. They just kept trying to shut down any Team Fishidy player that was on it. They put their full focus on trying to break the spawns from the start of hill 1 to the end of hill 1, and it ends up happening. Unfortunately for them, though, Team Fishidy make a fantastic push through the middle of the map. They're able to break the spawns right back into their favor. So these back 20 seconds, you would have to imagine they're going to go the way of Team Fishidy at this point.
It's not the worst thing, because like you said, if you lose out on hill 2, you need to get hill 3 over at Stilts, and Team Taktic, they realize it. Now they're looking to set up over towards this, and Team Fishidy, the hands-up play from Fishidy and Zip to push on through this catwalk, get up above, look to take out a few players. Taktic spots them out. Oh, and the nade to push Fishidy out here. Taktic gets a good gunfight on that, wins it out. Zip getting collapsed on, and so far so good for this Stilt side. But Zip's able to find one. Records for a second one. The break comes through. Nobody on the hill. And finally, there you have it. Fishidy doing a good job at making sure that Team Taktic get absolutely nothing here.
Got to keep our eye on Purge as well now. On 8 in a row. Or sorry, on 5 in a row. He's really just trying to run it up right here. See where he is off spawn. He's actually already over towards the Turtle Hill after this hill. So he's just 100% playing next hill. He doesn't want to even worry about trying to touch this because there's not really much pressure. He knows he's got 2 players over there. So he's just going to wait and try to catch these players off guard as they come around towards this Turtle Hill. He's on 6 in a row now, 1 off of being able to find that first streak.
Yeah, I mean, boys in blue, they have a fantastic spread across here. And Purge, he's going to be ready. He should take his sights over there. There's the artillery strike now working for the cruise missile. Off spawn. Team Taktic, and you see the arrows pushing through the middle of the map. Andrew's found his way inside of Voodoo. And he's going to peek out. There's the cruise missile now. Full streaks for Purge. And a 60-point lead for Team Fishidy. So things are looking good for the boys in blue here. As you can see, the wraparound from Team Taktic still yet to pull the spawns away from them. But you have number 3 lurking around, so the spawns will be chaotic from either side. Purge has to take his sights on both ends of the spectrum. And he's able to just withstand it. So Fishidy, they're collecting majority of this time, and Purge has yet to be cleaned up. 10 in a row, looking for 11, but he gets pinched from behind. Andrew clears him off, and finally a break from Team Taktic.
Fishidy, the only player left back here now for the side of Team Fishidy, and he's going to end up falling. So speaking of player number 3 earlier on, Nira, he's off to a little bit of a rough start here. Maybe just not completely warm yet, but this is the man who we were honestly talking about possible MVP from the side of Team Taktic yesterday. He was playing unreal, absolutely looked like the steal of the draft. Now, I mean, he's got to pick it up here. They absolutely need him at his best if they want to come back in this game, especially against Streaks now on the side of Fishidy.
Oh, he can't win the gunfight. 2 players go down. Fishidy, as fast as they were out of that hill, they get right back in like it was nothing. But Andrew finds 2. He's going to take a swing at this. Not ready for Zip to be that close up, so still withstanding the pressure is Fishidy. 151 and 64, looking to put their lead up by 100 again. As Quiet is in trenches. I would like him just to wait for this because he can't do this alone. And Fishidy now, he knows exactly where they are. They're doing such a good job at holding on to this hill number 5. And I mean, with the remaining 20 seconds, they can put themselves very close to 200 points.
And it's only the end of the first set of rotations. This is what we were talking about, where we were saying you can't allow things to get out of hand. You can't let these teams string hill after hill after hill together, and it's exactly what Team Fishidy have been able to do here so far. Though, is they once they lost hill 2, they broke back in. But not only did they break back in, they break hill 3 right off the rip, and then they string hills 4 and 5 together, and that's why you've seen a nice 100-point lead for themselves here. And also, once again, Purge sneaks through. He flips the spawns out here one more time, and now Team Fishidy are in favor of those good spawns again, going into our second set of rotation with full streak still on Purge.
This is getting a little bit messy, but you know, just as much as Team Fishidy can rack up the points and stack these sites, we've seen comebacks for days on a map like Apocalypse.
I mean, if they're going to come back, though, they're going to have to start to make that comeback now. That's the big thing. And here come the streaks, and it's going to force them off of this hill. They're not really going to be able to continue to put pressure onto this. And it actually should open up some space for Fishy to be able to push forward. But they may have pushed too far forward. They lose tempo spawns. And now Team Taktic with a golden opportunity to come back into this game.
Golden, and it is super shiny, too. Andrew, Wreckers, doing their best for the team, but it is going to be still holding on to it. His records in the back. Can he find Nira? Shots are there, but he is going to play his life. Very valuable in this situation. As Temple, so far, provided for Team Taktic. They are going to have a pinch into this. How are they going to work it? If Nira jumps out, Records ready for it in that tight corner. It's very thin. Ours the attack from Team Taktic right now, and somehow Team Fishidy, even after losing spawns like that, they still hold point 2.
I mean, and that one's all on Records. Records absolutely goes massive in the back. He finds one, and he just plays his life. He backs down Nero. The amount of shots he hit on Nero couldn't even re-challenge. That's what makes that break so big from themselves. Here, Team Taktic, though, they are at least able to hop back into the hill from the front. They're going to try to at least contest a little bit of this time here. And, I mean, contention only helps them out at this point because they can at least get towards this next hill. But now they're continuing to spawn out Temple side. Spawns go back into the favor of Team Fishidy towards the next hill. And this is just looking like it's going from bad to worse here for Team Taktic.
These just keep looking for this squad. Now has to force themselves and rush in through stills. Luckily, Quiet and Andrew, they find 2. So they are going to get the initial time here. But look how close Team Fishidy are to attack this again. Wreckers. Oh, he finds Quiet. I thought Quiet was going to be watching that. Forces Andrew off the hill into a different position. But 3 go down for Team Taktic. And how messy is this one? They're going to hop right back into this. They need 25 seconds to put away this map number 1. Team Fishidy looks so good in the hard point right now. And Records is playing cutoff to the rest of the players trying to get in. Nira, the next up to the chopping block. And he's doing such a good job at just keeping Team Fishidy off of this hill, but still Records, he gets 5 in a row, forces back Team Taktic, and they're gonna be on this. 10 seconds left, Cruz.
I mean, out of all the hills we've seen, this has got to be the most dominant hill that we've seen from Fishidy out of any single one of them so far today. That nade comes through, and it's going to clean them up. They're going to be able to take the game on this hill. No, I lie. They do end up falling just at the very end, so 2 seconds left, but they've got the rotations down. No way they end up losing this one out.
Hope it spawns.
Nah, Zip's on the hill.
No.
There's no chance.
There's no time. I was like, okay, they spawn back there. They get there in time. They clear him off. They overwhelm him and take the Turtle Hill, but they spawn way too far back to get there in time. Granted, you only need 2 seconds to win that one out. So start to finish, Team Fishidy, they looked like they had a game plan and they executed it to a T.
I mean, it was just honestly just perfect Call of Duty. You got to imagine that was probably their map pick with how they played that game out.
Oh, yeah.
That looked unreal how well that they played that game, considering the amount of practice that this team has together probably isn't that high. I mean, just, yeah, they get broken on Hill 2 twice, and I think that might be the only scary part. If they do end up playing a team like Crooked, maybe in towards the grand finals, if that ends up happening, you do get broken twice there, but I mean, just the rotation battle that they were winning constantly. And it was 100% the Hills 3, 4, and 5 that won them that game over and over again. Stilts looked fantastic for them. Turtle, I don't think they lost a second on. And then even Hill 5, once they went back to Hill 5, I don't think they really lost any time on it. Maybe a little bit of congestion here and there, but I think they still got 40 seconds to their rival. So, I mean, just a fantastic first game there from Team Fishidy.
And this has to be scary for both teams as well, Cruz, because you look at who's waiting for you if you lose this game, and that Crooked roster is nobody to overlook from whatsoever. They have been on a revenge tour ever since round number 1, and they're looking to not stop at all. So Standoff's going to be up next. It's going to be an important map for Team Taktic Team Tactic to claw their way back into it. We saw in the last series as well that Venet, they were able to do the exact same thing against Team Crooked. So I would like to see them slow down the pace, take it one step at a time, and then make sure Fishidy can't take the 2s and 5s.
I think it's going to be a lot tougher in this one, though. I think that the hard points are really where this game, where this series really breaks open, because both these teams are undefeated in search and destroy and control.
Okay.
So that's what makes these hard points so important in this series. So you're looking at Tactic and Fishidy here. They're going to need to be leaders. One of these two are going to lose their first search and destroy right here. And if you're Team Tactic, you're praying right now. You need to make sure that it's not you guys that ends up losing this. You don't want to go down 2-0 to Team Fishidy. Otherwise, in all honesty, we could just be we could have a 3-0 on our hands, in all honesty.
250 to 121, and I agree with you. If this gets out of hand, if this goes 2-0 for Team Fishidy, I'm sure that the momentum will be in their favor for that checkmate as well. But you look at the end game here. You look at the last 3 maps, checkmate, checkmate, and raid. That is your more optimal maps to play on for the starting of it. So the fact that you're ending on it means that if you make this go the distance, it's going to be more so even in the latter end of this series. So really, if you're Tactic at this point, you win the standoff and you just make sure that you stay alive into the ending of this. So let's hop into the standoff. Let's see if Team Tactic can bounce back here. And my eyes are going to be on Nira. We have to see the star wake up.
Absolutely. Insane plays yesterday. Kind of quiet in game 1. We'll see if we can turn it up here in game number 2. Speaking of Nero, we will be on board with him right off the rip, but he has no action over towards this A site right now. So, I mean, he might want to make a call for his bomb carrier to try to make a wrap back, but his bomb carrier is in no man's land all the way over towards gas station.
Fishidy gets away with that somehow, takes down Nira as he was pushed all the way through the middle of the map, finds the player on statue before anybody can react to it, and look at the rest of them. The setup for this defensive team, Team Fishidy, I mean, they are in perfect corners right now. They have so much protection for this. They have aggressive potential as well. They can take the gunfights that they want to, because it's now Team Tactic who have to force the aggression into a zip. Will see the cross over to the A side. Doesn't take a shot, so for all Team Tactic knows is nobody sees them, but Tactic heads up play, brings it back a little bit. Even 2 versus 2, but Purge is looking to keep that numbers in their favor. Andrew's going to be dropping the bomb, and the collapse is going to be out as well. A little bit of a toe peeking out. Andrew spots it, and Team Fishidy, they go up 1-0.
Team Fishidy, they get the littlest bit of information, and once they get it, they just pounce onto the site. All 3 players ready and waiting to go. I mean, it's on Purge, man. He finds that first. He finds the toes of the second as well, just to be able to finish that player off. Absolutely insane round there. I mean, it's all off of that flank play through the gas station. 2 players push all the way through. Once they get that information from Zip that they're rotating through the middle of the map, those 2 players pounce. They're like, hey, we can just push all the way through. We don't need to worry about anybody being behind us, because they cleared that out so long ago. They have all the information in the world. It just makes that round so much easier on themselves.
Well, Purge spots Nira. Gets some shots in too. Fishidy, he wants to follow up, but he is going to be taking his sweet time. They should know that Fishidy's on this corner too with that stun, so they're going to be ready for this. A very different defensive setup where it was hotel control for Team Fishidy. They go for the alley control and tractor. And that's giving Fishidy this opening again down the middle of the map. And again, Tactics, the first to fall. Can he find a second one onto Quiet? What a shot there. Laser beams out of Fishidy to start this one off. Nira, very tagged up. Records is going to play cleanup duty. And now Andrew again alone, this time in a 1v2 as he is able to find 2 on the exit. And now the wraparound. If he can find Purge here with some good timing, he can force a 1v1. But Purge around into the corner. Is Andrew going to check it? He doesn't need to. Purge washes out into him. Now Records, 1v1. Bomb is down 34 seconds. And Andrew is going to take the slow roll. Ransom very low on the prone. Records playing aggressive, and it pays off. Fishidy 2-0.
Yeah, it's a great play there as well for Records. He gets all the information in the world that he needs from his teammate. He knows where that player is, so he just says, hey, screw it. I'm just going to lay down in an off angle. If he comes around this corner, he's pretty screwed to me right here. He's kind of lucky, though, as well, because if he makes a different play there, maybe goes out towards Bakery, he might be able to spot him out way earlier than that and catch a better timing to be able to finish that one off. Stay woke, Andrew. He's just going to have a little bit of a drink before, we start our next round up here, but it's going to be a 2-0 lead, like we said, for Team Fishidy. Back on defense here, and a little bit of a different split coming in from them. They're going to send 1 player towards A this time through. Actually, they're going to reinforce it with 2 towards A. Just have 1 player sit back, watch towards that hotel. They've given up complete hotel control, but Tactic doesn't know about it, so they haven't taken any control of it.
They look scared. They look genuinely scared to take any of this map away from Team Fishidy. Purge and Grandma spots Quiet's shoulder. It's going to force him off that angle again. And in reaction, I mean, Andrew, if he takes this bomb into alley and he dies to player number 6, that's going to put the bomb in such an awkward position. But with that kill from Quiet, it opens up an angle, takes out the player inside of Grandma's. And now the rotation towards A. Zip shuts it down. Nothing going for Team Taktic yet. Now the Fishidy finds another one through the middle of the map. How many times is he going to walk through the middle of the map and find a kill?
The worst part is they're watching middle of the map.
Yeah.
he's just winning the gunfight against the player who is watching middle of the map consistently. He just has a great understanding of where these players are. Andrew, he's going to try to peek around the corner, see if he can't spot these players out. And he doesn't. And, he does end up winning that first fight, but he is so weak, he will end up falling. And Fishidy and this FFAR is just absolutely insane right now.
Name a better duo. Name a better duo. Fishidy and an FFAR.
Can we call him an FFFAR soon? Like Fishidy's FFAR? Like, because this is just unreal. Look at this. I don't think I've ever seen somebody shoot so straight with this FFAR, man.
On one. I mean, I've seen a couple players. Like, you look at Dashy when he uses the FFAR. Yeah, it doesn't work in the CDL, but it works in pubs, and Fishidy's making it work here.
He's playing us too before this round started. These guys are just having fun using their emotes. And, you know, that's what you love to see. It's a fun tournament at the end of the day in this CCL tournament. They're taking this winners bracket final very seriously. But having a good chance here. But Quiet and Nira off the rip, they will find 3 players, and it's just going to leave Fishidy and his FFAR all by himself.
Oh, can he do it again?
I thought he was going to do it. I was about to lose my mind.
They put themselves on the board. And look at that. Like I was saying, in that second round, or in the third round, they looked scared. They looked genuinely scared for an attacking side. On defense, they meet fire with fire there, and they win their gunfight. They get the heads-up call. They get the information that, hey, Team Fishidy, they're playing really aggressive. They're running at us. What do? We set up. We expect it this time. You go for the slide on into the bomb site. You get the bait and switch into the player around the corner. You take a more comfortable gunfight into that aggression, and you find the early kills. And that's what Team Fishidy have been finding. Those first bloods and the second bloods off of those openings, because Team Taktic, they're not playing confident here or whatever. They don't feel comfortable on the map. But finally, you do see some life here, and Nira's looking for this. He's hunting through this. Sneaks into Delhi. Records has no idea whatsoever. But will he get this kill? The shot punch in. Oh, Nira clears it out.
Oh, and they're not getting aggressive either because Stay Woke Andrew is here as well just to help his teammate. But Purge wins the gunfight. Nira will be there for the trade, but either way, that gunfight from Purge winning it, it's going to leave Nira now in a 1 versus 2, and both of these angles are watched. You can already see player 8, he's got this whole lane here watched right now. He may have just looked away at the worst timing as Nira's able to get the cross, so he might be able to shoot this player in the back on Optic Man.
F-R-E-E. As Fishidy, the FFAR can't do so much when you have your back turned to Nira. 4 to 4 now, 1v1.
This would be for the ace, too.
This would be for an ace. 25 seconds. You can get the bomb down at B because player number 5 is sitting over at A. But with this time, he's going to wrap around here. He might get the timing on the Zip. Oh, Nira might be playing this perfectly to give his team this spots out. Zip into the corner, takes the gunfight, and takes the round for the ace. What a round from Nira.
Absolutely insane stuff here. Get to see it one more time from that final kill right there. Him and Andrew. And actually, no, he didn't get the ace. He had 1 last round. We're wrong. He still got 3 this round, though. Crazy stuff, though, coming in from near.
Yeah, the ace there.
Are you sure? I swear he got 1 last round.
He got the first 2 there, and then he got...
Oh, you're right. You're right. I can't count. You know what? It is what it is.
Trying to take it away from Nira, man. I said the star needed to wake up, and he woke up.
He absolutely did. I forgot that he fell last round after he got that kill. I take it back. I apologize.
Look at this.
All right.
Look at the defenders. They pushed their gas station. And Nira, he's flipping the map again, but the aggression from Team Fishidy, you have to be careful here because if they're quick enough, they can overwhelm these 2 players over towards the B site. If this flank doesn't pan out, it's gonna put
aggression on aggression right now.
Here, bomb goes down. And this is where the flank is going to come into fruition.
Yeah, Nira just cleared out that entire side of the map, so they know that all 4 players are over in this B area in some way, shape, or form. And that first blood from Zip is everything, because it opens up Delhi for them to be able to flip this map and get back inside. And they just piece them together one by one. Team Fishidy, once again, gonna close that round out for themselves. Up 4-2 here now.
Pass me the scalpel. That was clean. That was as clean as ever. That was clinical. I mean... So you see the flank that comes through gas station, and Nira and Andrew, they do the right thing. They flip the map, they get in behind, they're clearing, giving information to the 2 players over towards the B site. But if you see Team Fishy set up after that bomb goes down, they had every single angle checked for as soon as a Team Tactic player shows those FFARs, those SMGs, they shoot so fast. They're just going to kill on sight. And that's exactly what happens. It was as clean as ever. Flawless round there. And Fishy keeping it going. Finds the first, but it's a trade.
And this is just playing right into the hands of Team Fishidy. They're like, oh, you guys want to get aggressive? That's what they realized last round, and that's why they just started running straight at them once again. The aggression for a few rounds, it works for Team Tactic, but these last 2 rounds here in a row, Fishidy, they just answer aggression with aggression. And they say, hey, you want to take gunfights? We'll take gunfights all day. And they just clear them out very easily for themselves here in these last 2 rounds.
Fishidy and co, they look dangerous on Championship Sunday Cruise. Team Tactic, I don't know what to say. I mean, Nero fell flat in game 1. He's showing up here in game number 2, but it's just not enough. Because
to be fair, he showed up for a round. It's been pretty quiet besides the ace, in all honesty here, but... they just need more out of him. He's been a superstar for this team, and Fishidy will find that first blood under the car once again through the middle of the map. Completely opens up B. This bomb should go down anytime soon, and we're probably looking at a very similar hold to what we saw last round.
They don't need that hold. They have the numbers. They have the bomb down. Fishidy's 13-5. He's feeling good today. And now Andrew's just walking into the stomping pit. What's up for Tactic? I mean, if he walks into Delhi, there's a player watching that as well. 1v4. Flawless for Team Fishy to finish off on standoff. And I mean, it doesn't get cleaner than that.
I don't think they lost a player in the last 3 rounds.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either.
That was, wow. You're not wrong. Tactic, like, literally, they brought the fire. They were ready. And... yeah, I don't know, man. That was... I'm kind of just mind blown from that game, in all honesty with you. Absolutely incredible stuff there from Team Fishidy. Just brought the aggression in there. And that middle map push on standoff was insane, those last 2 offenses.
I wish I could have a tally on how many times Fishidy walked into the street and just found a kill. Blood? And found a kill. I wish there was a tally for how many times he got a kill through the middle of the street, because that's unacceptable on a map like standoff. I feel like that's rule number 1 for standoff, is don't let somebody push through the middle of the map like that. It's so wide open. It's so hard to push there in general. You should have somebody watching that. And now what does that do? Fishidy are up 2-0 into this. What did you say? What did you say prior to that?
The problem is, I'm sorry, I will completely catch that from you in just 1 second. But the problem is with that was he was killing the player that was watching middle map every single round with an FFAR versus a Krieg. So I mean, just some insane stuff. But like you were saying, going down 2-0 this early to Team Fishidy is just a scary place to be, because these guys, you can tell they're just playing so confidently right now, and you got to think Tactic needs to win this first round of checkmate, especially if they're on defense. If they lose an offense, like if they allow Team Fishidy to win an offense round number 1, Team Fishidy is probably going to take this series in a 3-0 fashion, just because of the confidence that they'll have for the rest of the series.
Seems like Team Fishidy are in the flow state right now in the winner side of the bracket. Checkmate's coming up next for control the do or die into the winner side for Team Tactic. This is the setup for the reverse sweep. We're going to get to see it after this break, so stay tuned for some more CCL. And welcome back, everybody, to the CCL Summer Ace Tournament powered by eFuse. My name is Seymour. Alongside me is Cruisinspad. We're in with Team Fishidy versus Team Tactic. We're already up 2-0 for Team Fishidy, and this is literally do or die for the winner's side. I mean, Team Tactic, if they lose this one, they not only lose 3-0, but they go down into an elimination game against Team Crooked.
I think the positive here for Team Tactic is they are heading into another game mode where they are still undefeated on here for this tournament. So definitely still have a chance here when it gets to this checkmate. I think I think the other good thing for Team Tactic is the fact that you hinted to this earlier on in the series, is that the back half of the series is maps that you're a lot more familiar with. You've been playing
Yep.
Checkmate and you've been playing Raid all year long. Apocalypse and Standoff, 2 maps that you haven't been playing all year long, and definitely 2 maps where it's a little bit harder to get that consistent practice on without, especially in an AIDS tournament where you're not playing with a team that you're always familiar with. So definitely have a better chance towards this back half, but it's going to start here on this Checkmate. They need to take it 1 map at a time, 1 round at a time here. And I said it before the break, and I'll say it again here. They absolutely need to come out and they need to win this round number 1, whether they're on offense, whether they're on defense. Just build a little bit of momentum, because they've kind of been stomped through those first 2 maps.
They have 0 momentum after that one, so you had a little bit of a break. Now we kind of shut down house for a few minutes, and I hope that Team Tactic took that opportunity to talk things over, to get ready for this next couple of games in the series, because they need to slow things down. They need to figure it out, and they need to do it now, because it's gonna be hard. It is gonna be a tough game, because Team Fishidy, I mean, they are firing on all cylinders here. They're here for the grand prize, and they are taking it with force.
Yeah, absolutely. They have been the team to beat all tournament long, in all honesty. I thought that Tactic was going to come out here and show a lot more prowess against this team of Team Fishidy. So I need them to come out. They need to come out. They need to win this Checkmate control. Otherwise, I think that they may even, and if they lose this, and how bad their momentum might be going in towards that losers bracket. You do not want to go play Team Crooked in the losers bracket. That team has been on a absolute roll, but nonetheless, we're going to spawn in towards this game number 3. It's going to be Checkmate control, and you can already see it's Team Fishidy on the offense here. They're going to make a push through the bottom, and they've already got some ticks into B. Second tick should be coming right through, and now Fishidy hopping onto A. What this does is it makes the side of Team Tactic have to flip their focus. And B is already done. They've done the hard part. Now they just need to make the rotation over to A.
Tactic, this is the opposite of what we wanted to see. This is the complete opposite. This is stomping ground on Check. They've lost 3 players in this one. Fishy's on a 5 streak. Purge is on 4. Records and Zip, they're both on 1, and they are just keeping this going. You got players in your spawn. You got the progress being capped over towards the A side, and I mean, this is not pretty at all. Stay woke. About to meet Fishidy. He goes down as well. That's 7 in a row. Give him the artillery strike this early into the control. He's playing for that cruise missile now, and finally a little bit of a break coming through. Team Tactic. They finally get into the site, but here comes Fishidy. He has the cruise missile. Looking to clean up Nira. Oh my, Fishidy.
That's it, right? That's got to be the round. No, he's going to hop up and challenge. I don't know why he doesn't just sit inside that hill, but he finally will hop back down. And that round number 1 is just Fishidy completely taking you over. 100% completely just taking you over there. Like, look at this final kill cam here from Fishidy. He finds 2 with the FFAR, switches to the burst pistol, and just completely takes over that round. Insane stuff.
Oh man, I don't know. I getting flashbacks to Crooked's start yesterday on Raid. Fishidy doing that. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better beginning. Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better beginning to a Checkmate control. 10-1, full streaks. You're back on defense now. You take an attacking round, because we've preached to the choir so many times that attacking round could mean the end of Checkmate if you find it. But already a good break from Team Tactic. They find 4 actually to get onto B, and this is gonna be some good progress.
Is it opposite day right now, or are we about to get B completely ticked in as well? But Fishidy, we completely forgot. He's got those streaks. He's going to rain them in from the sky. He doesn't find anything. He actually doesn't even get them off of the hill. So B might still be able to come through for the contest. It's here. Purge will hop on. It just doesn't look like it's going to be enough, and B should be capped in at this point. So they only need to go and make their way over towards A. They still do have streaks as well if you're on Fishidy, and A is the one site where you can actually drop those streaks on to stop them from being able to get the push.
That was a good break from Fishidy to take back control of the plane. After that B site got controlled. 3 life advantage, make it a 2 life advantage. If you're Tactic, I mean, first off, you gotta take control of that plane. Because as soon as you hop onto A, those players are gonna jump off the wing, and they're gonna take you out, but you can't even get through Fishidy, so I mean, one step at a time indeed, and there's another 3 down into the feed. Lives now advantage to Team Fishidy. Zips pushing into the spawn. He finds Andrew.
Nira's just trying to make them turn and look the other way, but I don't even think they're phased by just having him in the back right now. Because look at the rest of the players on the side of Team Fishidy. They're just keeping the rest of Team Taktic at bay, trapped in their spawn. They can't do anything. At this point, Nira, you need to challenge. You need to try to make something happen towards the other half of this map so that you can try to help your team get out. Because you're doing nothing for your team by sitting in the back of the spawn. He does find 3 eventually. And look at that. It opens up the top side of the map. The rest of Team Taktic, they can try to push out of their spawn now. But the deficit that they are on right now, it's only a 2-life deficit. But I mean, those lives start to really, really matter, especially once you continuously have the rest of Team Fishidy pushing up into your spawn, and Purge also has streaks as well.
Woohoo! Purge! What a snapper there onto the second one. 6 life advantage. And ever since that cap to B, I mean, Fishidy, they took control of it and they haven't let go. Struggling to break out of their spawns and make anything happen. Team Taktic on the verge of going down 2-0 into this checkmate control, and another 3 down and no respawns remaining for Team Taktic. In the blender they go and they hit start. 2 players left. Nira is gonna get cleaned up by Records, make it 1 left. It's quiet.
It's a Taktic smoothie right now is what this is.
It is.
They are down bad right now. Team Fishidy absolutely rolling here in the control. You thought that Team Taktic was looking good right off the rip of that round. They were able to get B fairly quickly, but as soon as they stopped as soon as they capped B and tried to make the progression over to A, Fishidy's team just completely took over again. They pushed all the way forward, put them in the blender, and take the round here. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Taktic take this defense, but I think it's going to be very tough for them to be able to take an offense against this Fishidy team.
I don't know, Cruz. I don't know. This might be the fastest 3-0 we've had in CCL.
Which is crazy because it's winners finals as well.
Yeah. I mean, you look at a combined 12 streak for Team Fishidy.
It just doesn't look like the same Team Taktic that we saw yesterday either. They were on a different level yesterday, but once again, to break off from Team Fishidy, they're going to go straight towards this B site. Nero will be able to at least find that first blood underneath the plane to slow down this push, and Quiet combines for another 2, so that's a great break off for them to at least get a little bit of momentum here. They can try to build it out and try to pin these players back in their spawns. I think the only thing they got to realize is that they still need to deal with streaks on the side of Team Fishidy.
Okay. Team Taktic, I see you. You don't want to go out like this, indeed. Give a little bit of a fight back. Records is on the A side. He's going to stop the clock at 1 minute. Taktic should know he's going to be in this corner, knowing that Records is this SMG player. He clears it out, but here's the trade from Purge. Going to get right back into the site, pick up where his teammate left off. I see Fishidy making the heads-up play to clean out Quiet from their spawn. They leave Purge alone. He captures 1 tick over towards A, and it looks like the rest of them just slow rolling over to the B site. And they do it. They get onto the B site. They stop the clock again, just making sure that this is as tough as ever for Team Taktic to set up.
Yeah, they only touch for a second, though. They go to try to hit the hop up into the plane, so this clock will start rolling again here. Only 36 seconds left for the likes of Team Fishidy to try to be able to push through and get onto this hill. But with those 3 down, that opens up A. They can hop in. They can try to get these final couple of seconds. And actually, they're going to split push this once again. We saw them do this last round, too. It makes the rest of Taktic have to force and pick a site, and they're going to pick the B site, so A should be done at this point. It's going to put another minute on the clock. Life's basically even and still full streaks on the side of Fishidy to deal with.
Not even Flex Tape could fix this round or fix this series, man. This is out of hands. I mean, this is the best round we've seen from Team Taktic, though, so I mean, if you don't come away with this is going to be losers bracket run checked in for Team Taktic. A few kills go back and forth. You still have streaks from Team Fishidy. Wouldn't be opposed to seeing them dedicate these streaks into getting onto this and just finishing this out as fast as you can. Andrew clears out plane, takes down Zip. Oh, and he takes the stick as well, but not before helping out with the kill onto Records. Nira cleaning up the rest of them. Fishidy, the closest one up now, is able to stop that clock, provide an exit strategy. Oh, and he's going to set up for that, but not able to get that slide on in. Andrew's going to clean him up. Here comes the artillery strike, or the artillery strike was into the back line. It didn't get anything at all.
Now, all they were trying to do with that, though, was just push the players back. They didn't want Taktic to be able to push forward and get so much momentum and forward progress on towards that B site. And Nira misses a lot of shots there. That's going to cause a 4 down. Now is when you choose to invest these streaks, because they can drop them and force Taktic to have to play back a little bit here.
3v4. Andrew leading the charge into her. Players to the right, slide from Wreckers, evens it up. Zip and Purge, though, they keep it out. 1v2, and that's going to be Fishidy punching their ticket into the grand finals. A 3-0 sweep in the control and the series. And it's going to send Team Taktic falling down into the losers bracket to face off against Team Crooked in a grudge match for that grand finals. To start the revenge tour, to bring this one back for either squad. But if you're Team Taktic, you need to flip the switch immediately.
Yeah. I mean, congratulations to Team Fishidy. They've just secured $300. They look fantastic today. They are in full final form right now, ready in that grand finals. But now it comes down to the question of who's going to make it there. And this is always where the hard part comes in when you place a team that has made it through this losers bracket run. This team Crooked right now, they remind me of FaZe back in Black Ops 3, where they just go on that wild losers bracket run. They make it all the way through, and they win the tournament. So, I mean, Crooked, they are hot right now. They have every chance in the world to be able to continue on this run. And I think the most scariest part for me has been their respawn. If their respawn continues on the way that it has looked today, they are going to be so tough to beat going into this final game.
I know we're talking about the losers bracket right now, even though Team Fishidy just went into the grand finals. But, I mean, Fishidy, you know they did good. They cleaned up house. They're set. They're in the grand finals.
There's nothing to talk about.
They feel as good as ever. I mean, they took matters into their own hands, and it was simply business for them. $300 secured for them. Now it's time to work for $600, waiting for the team into that grand final spot. Let's take a look at the bracket. Let's see exactly where they came from, where all of these teams came from, because into the final 3, we have another elimination spot now back over into that losers round 6, all the way into the bottom right. Over these past 2 days, it's been quite the run. Like you say, you have Team Crooked making that magnificent losers bracket run from round 1 now to round number 6. But talk about Team Fishidy here. I mean, they have had quite the resume. They take down Team Plasma. They take down Team Dr. Perseus. They take down Beaston. And now Taktic, just marking even more on their resume. They have lost 1 map across 4 series now. They're in the grand finals, and they look as good as ever. The question is, will Team Taktic fight back, or is Crooked just going to keep their momentum going, because they haven't stopped from the start either?
I just wonder what would have happened in this tournament if Crooked don't lose that round 1 matchup. How far would they have made it through this winners bracket match? Because they lost in the game 5. If they win that in 4, I bet you they go on a run through this winners bracket, because they have beat all these teams that you're saying Fishidy has beaten as well. They didn't take on Dr. Perseus, but they do take out Plasma, they take out Beaston later on, they take out Catalyst. They have been on a roll. They take out Venet. This team is no joke. They are absolutely ready to go here. And Team Taktic, I'm honestly a little bit worried for them going into this matchup. They looked so good yesterday. They came out a little bit flat in this series. But, I mean, going up against Team Crooked, man, with how hot they've been, it's just going to be so tough to win that series.
That's truly dreadful in the series. Flat's an understatement for what we saw from Team Taktic into that one. Honestly, in my eyes, and I don't want to be harsh to them, but for a winner's final, that's a little bit unacceptable from a team. To make it that far and just fall flat like that, it's just maybe a little bit cold from the day, but as harsh as it is, I'm just calling it as it is. You make it to the winner's final. You need to show up for this. That was a play for money. You've locked in at least $100 for yourself, but you want that $300 prize that's ahead of it. Now it's time to face elimination, to face the odds, to play Team Crooked and show exactly why you've made it this far into the tournament. We're going to cut to a break, and when we come back, this losers round 6 is going to be underway. Who is going to meet Team Fishidy in the grand finals? Who is going to have a chance for that $600 prize for the first place? And who is going to get the shot for that title? Stay tuned to find out.